Rolling. Tape. That's loud. That's the regular one. Okay.
Can you hear my voice? Because I'm a little low
Yes.
on the voice. There is a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay,
We don't
fine.
have all the noises outside. You
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
have.
I got
it
it.
just gets, it's a Q8, so it's pretty good.
Good. Very nice.
Expensive. Now, okay, so let's talk about the art that you have here. When I produce my shows, and I have Russian model competition, and I need to attract people, and I need people to buy tickets, right? And my plan, and I have venues like Jacob Center, Barclays Center, big venues. It's my understanding that if I put a poster of that magnitude, like what you do, I would get people to buy tickets. Would that be something interesting for you to sign a contract to use your art as the poster?
As a poster, never thought of that actually. I try to make authentic pieces, not reproductions within posters. Maybe potentially. In my heart, I am an artist, right? So
Posters is not art.
posters replicate art. They make it accessible for students to hang in their dorms, for example, right? But there is some level of authenticity in original piece produced by the artist personally, and this is what I'm into,
That's
really.
what you want.
Yes.
I see. So you don't want to be known with lots and lots of people. Just very little.
As far as mass production of the message,
But how?
well, there is internet for that, and it's fairly simple to distribute your message worldwide, right? By internet.
What about like your marketing tools? What do you use? Do you use let's say when I buy a new house, right? And I start building the interior. The first thing my wife does, we choose the centerpiece, the painting, what I buy, what we put, and then the decor, the furniture, the walls, everything else we assemble to that centerpiece. Because
Interesting. Okay.
Because if I don't know, you probably didn't see my upstate house. So I have a waterfall over it, and it's like you see you can see the.
Well, I'd love to. Yes. Okay.
The kind of. The lake and the boats and all that stuff, you can see it from under the waterfall, so it's constant water falling, so it's very relaxing when we go upstate. So I need something that holds the moment. Like your sculptures, I think, represent that moment that I want to.
That's lovely. That's lovely.
Sustain when I go back to the city and keep making money.
I understand. In fact, I'll tell you, staying on a trade show for a few days, it's quite exhausting. And the only thing that saves me...
I can see.
The only thing that saves me... And today is it's early morning, so I'm good.
last day, few more hours.
I'm glad we're not doing it at the end of the day. But what saves me, honestly, is I just walk in here, and it's very peaceful. What I do creates the atmosphere, the ambience of quiet, peace, and gives you a moment to...
A lot of people I see try to engage you, try to really shock you, try to do something different. I see when I look at your art, it's relaxing. It doesn't surprise. It doesn't shock you. It just comforts you. It's something familiar in that sense. At least for me as a fellow artist. So I shoot models. I produce some works, similar work like you in some way, and that way I think it's something that I can relate to.
Thank you. I guess I could just add this and just figure it out based on what you suggested. I suppose what I do is not protruding sculptures, but they have some depth. So when you keep looking into them, you get absorbed and you have a chance seeing more.
Most of the artists here in the exhibition are promoting themselves, let's say, through the architects or through the interior designers. Let's say if someone builds an apartment, they need interior, they would act as a agent for you. Do you do that kind of work?
I work with interior designers, of course, yes. There was quite a bit of interest in the trade hours of the show. With dealers, not yet, no. I market myself.
You market
Yes.
yourself. You cut the middleman. You want to be right there. With
Well, there is
people.
no dealer. If there is a dealer, let's talk.
So there is no dealer came up to you. I see. They don't see the value yet.
Let me see.
What about art galleries?
Art galleries. There is an interest on the show. I have a few contacts to follow through.
But it's a
So-
way they will invest money into you. They will promote you. What they can do for you?
You know,
what's the value for that?
I'd love to hear what they would like to do and how we can collaborate. What I plan to do is open my own gallery.
Mm-hmm.
I have artwork. I can structure distribution of work, and it
Why
can be.
do your own art gallery? I'm telling you, if you go to just a Bentley's, Mercedes dealership,
Yes.
like where fancy cars are displayed, you put this piece of art. They come for Bentley. They come
Very
for
cool idea.
For the
Yes.
Ferrari, and they can maybe end up with the painting. I think that's all same level of art. Well, I remember you told me cell phones, Apple is not art. Comparing
It's
to
a
yours,
different
but,
art form, I guess.
so
Yes.
you don't want to be compared probably to the
To a beautiful car. I have to say, I come from former Soviet Union.
Me too.
Yes, and we had some standard car, and we had only few kinds of cars in the whole country.
Yes.
One brand or two brands, right? So, and I admired the curves of that metal, sheet metal, and I was thinking, as a kid, how did they bend it this way and shape it, and so beautiful. And I am looking back, and you cannot imagine how ugly those cars are.
Well, for me, but I have all the car, and I collect those.
Well,
I
as
think so-
collectibles, they're priceless. Yes.
I think it's just fun. It's my memories. I have some kind of relationship. I don't know how we fit in those cars. They're so tiny, man. I see sometimes on Bright Beach there are a couple of Zhiguli running there. They're so tiny. How people end up in those cars?
So with beautiful cars these days that you can see
This has
driving
way
through the
more
city,
space, man. That's the space. Even the
you have to
print
see
itself
it
small.
6 feet long. That's
6
that's
feet
when
long.
it really opens up. Yeah. So all of these works, they can be printed 6 feet long, and then it's a grand centerpiece.
Yes, that could be on on a wallpaper, like on a
Well,
wall.
it's I don't
Part
do
of the
wallpaper.
house.
I would do it similar
You mean
to
like
this.
a buoy?
No. It will be an artwork. It will be in encasing, mounted on aluminum, behind UV protective acrylic, in suitable framing, and it's printed on cotton with pigment ink. So it's archival artwork that can be preserved.
You market yourself as your own, and you cut all the middlemen in front of you. You have your own gallery, you have your own marketing. What do you do online? How do you market yourself?
Online? I guess, it's interesting. Just recently I read what Salvador Dali was telling about himself. Everyone has to talk about Dali, even if they have nothing good to say. Well, I hope people will have something good to say.
Love me,
about
hate
me.
me. Just
I don't have that
that's why you
attitude.
have,
I don't really have that attitude.
New
But
models, I see, to attract the attention.
actually,
the
not at
sex.
all. No, absolutely. It's
You don't have
it's
the
exactly
guys, I
the
see.
opposite.
You don't
No,
have. I don't see one guy there.
there is
it's a-
surprisingly, specifically one.
So it's a little bit chauvinistic in that sense, don't you think?
No, I don't. So, let me show you. So this, for example.
Oh, but you still have the girl.
Well, I can show you more. I don't know if we fit in a camera here. So
Come closer.
This is one of the works that was done in 2006. It was a second shoot with this beautiful model, and I was fortunate that she came with a friend, extremely sculpturally built, and with very graceful body, and we were able to assemble this composition with both of them, both extraordinary. But let me show you one print.
Now you're talking.
So with this print, last year on this wall I had a levitating nude, sculptural nude, female nude, over the entire wall. And I also have this print that I plan to put right underneath it, just because there is limited space available and to fit a little bit more artwork for display. I couldn't. This print in a smaller size than the 6-foot long levitation nude would overweight it. It would take on him. It would just shout over everything with the amount of power that comes from this image. So I had to put it aside and display it separate. That's why it's in a box right now.
I see.
So yes, I was fortunate to work with this model, and very happy with the outcome.
I'm pretty sure the guys would feel that you keep the guy in the box and the girls out, so that has
it's something very
some kind of
special.
meaning.
Again, it's because this image is very powerful, and
So you're not ashamed of that image.
why there's nothing really.
You don't have it on your wall, so you have all the girls. Obviously,
It doesn't matter, girls or not. It's a content that can
What's
be
your selling technique when you sell the art? What do you do? How do you work the client? What's your suggestion for the new artist who wants to follow your steps?
Interesting. Well, first of all, if you put yourself in the shoes of a person who's considering buying art, the first suggestion.
Let's stop right there. How do you choose who is considering, who is just wasting your time?
It's just a simple question. Are you planning to decorate, to acquire something or not? There's no mystery behind it. It's yes or no question.
So
or maybe. Well, if it's maybe,
if they say yes, how do you know they're for real and they're just wasting your time?
you don't
Maybe-
know.
maybe
So
they
it makes
say
sense
no,
to.
not to be bothered, hustle by you, but they actually
Right.
do spending the money. How do you? People don't answer.
You don't know until the very end, right? You never know. We never know everything.
You cannot waste your time for every. You have to some kind of channel it through.
If
want
you
to
have a
get double sales.
better technique, you should let me know. But what I do is I find out
I
what
look
person.
at everything. I look at the shoes. I look at the posture, the way if they have already a couple of pieces with them. Probably even if they say I'm not buying anymore, they still can buy.
Potentially. I generally give people space to look and see and feel if they love something. And when I see that they love something, their eyes shine differently, I ask a question.